through my whole experience in being a board member or a board chair, I think we have kind of different kind of scenarios and understanding of this role. We have the dictatorial position who, I am the chairman and I need to say this and you have to do it. I think that kind of role or that kind of notion has been slightly phasing out as we all becoming internationally open to many kind of style of leadership. The second role of the chairman, board chair, is, or the second type of board chair who comes there based on nomination rather than election. And this kind of people, you have two kind of this, people who knows their work and those who does not. And those who knows their what to do, very easy. But the problem when they come to where it is not their bread and butters. They are good at their other businesses, but when they come here, they are, I wouldn't say they are weak, but they are this is not their field of play. So it will take some time. However, to take that, I think the mistakes will happen. So we need someone to guide them at that point. And lastly, I think where a good chairperson will be who knows at least a certain percentage of the field that he is in. And if he does not know, he makes himself knowledgeable by reading and by taking the consultancy on this matter and focusing on the direction of the company based on the strategy that been there. So I think the role of the chair is very important as we navigate through the era that everything is disturbed by AI, by the risk, what happens, by the changing business models that we see. Everything is not like it used to be, So I think the chairperson has to be in a way that he looks at all of these kind of things and with the team, with the board members. Well, I'll tell you the result. If you will see a chairman who is micromanaging, you will see a decline on that company. So if you see a decline, then you make sure that, if you will do a study on that company, you will see that either he or she is a micromanager, or he is absolutely does not look at what's happening over there. But most probably it is micromanage. So this is one. In general, the chairperson normally he would not go for micromanagement, because micromanage is really a tough thing. So you have to sit there, you have to know every single details of what's happening. And if you don't have any other job, yes, you can do it. But if you have plenty of other responsibility, then it will not be something that you sustain. Maybe for a day, a two, a week, a month, then you will, your other businesses of yours will start lacking behind. However, you have to know what happens, and it's not necessarily that you should take an action of what's happening. It's just for you to know. One of the things that I used to do in my earliest day to be acquainted with the business that I have, I've been nominated to. Of course, it's totally a business that I did not know anything about it. And I made sure that every Thursday I go there and I take a brief of what's happening on the company until I get acquainted of what's happening. And in less than 6 months, with the management, with their help, we were able to double the turnover of that company. So it's the way you look into things. It's not something that, if I were trying to micromanage that, I think that company would have bankrupted now. Well, I think me as a person, when I say me, I don't mean Ahmed, I mean as a chairperson, I have to strike a balance within me. there is certain things that where I have to be tough and I say no, or I say, this is incorrect. You don't have, you cannot go into that kind of things. With a way that I don't say it just to fight. I say it to protect the company in this way. And also, I have to be also on the other side, soft enough for people to come and approach me, not seeing me that kind of dictatorial person who have, unapproachable, undesirable to speak to. For example, I remember and at one incident, I had my difference with the CEO. And from the day one, I said, we can't communicate directly. I'll come here and I will look at your result. I'll ask questions. And if we, in any single day that we came into a different kind of agreement or understanding, what we will do that we will pass this kind of difference to the board and they decide where to go. So we reached to that point, and he was on one mind, I was on a different mind, and we both couldn't solve whatever could be to reach to a solution. Finally, we went to the board, and the board meeting was thereafter, I think, a month or so. So we went to the board and we put the case in front of them. Luckily, they came my way. So you have to be, approachable, yet knowing that they know that you know what's happening. It's not, they cannot take you for a ride. Well, again, I would say it depends on the two different personality. I mean, you will never have the same personality between the chair and the CEO. And probably one is active, one super active, and or one is going right and one going left. So there is different personalities there. You have to gauge to what extent that kind of diversion is there. So for a chairperson to bring a CEO into line, you have to understand kind of mind of that CEO. Once you understand that, probably you can make it a week, a month, or even a quarter meeting. So, but for me, I would always start weekly to understand the new mindset of this person, and probably I will go for 2 weeks time, then probably a month time. So probably it's normally the maximum it goes for a month, because quarterly there is a board meeting. So I have also to know what's happening also as a chair. I have to know what's happening in the company as well. So if for that I have to meet once a month. At the end of the day, you need someone at that chair. So it's better to manage if you see any shortfall comes out of that CEO, manage him or her rather than sack him or her and bring someone else. I personally, I think it's a failure of the chairman to sack a CEO. It's not a failure of the CEO. It's a failure of the chairman that the CEO has been sacked, unless he is totally disastrous. Yeah. The chairman should try, and he could manage that person in a way to bring a good result. But coming back to your question, we normally do it at 360 yearly once. Also in certain cases, and in very few cases where we have done it quarterly and sometimes half yearly, based on the performance of the company itself. So and also I don't want to say that this is something routine things. No, once the market is good, then your result is good. So you need to push your boundary with the management, and that's how you come to a quarter or a half yearly kind of performance. In my whole career, once I have done it. Why? Because the CEO has become at that age for a retirement. So we had to, look at succession in that. Others that they are, I haven't seen that kind of scenario coming up in terms of retirement and looking for an alternative or a succession for the CEO. But in general, I would very much support such things, especially in a changing world. And when I say that today, and this is, we are talking about across the whole region, not just in UAE. Today, your CEO, he is settled, he is doing well, and to some extent, he is very much happy with his position in this company. But you come and offer him double the salary or double the financials that what he receives, so that makes his eye blinks. And does he move? Will he stay? Of course, there is so much of things that he has to think about it. What's the stability of the new company? Am I going to sit there with the same kind of mindset which is here? There is lots of things goes in his mind. But assuming that he takes the offer, so you have to have someone trained and to be in his replacement. And basically, I think this is more important than retirement or coming into leaving this because of age. I think in all my contractual with the CEO, I make sure that this part is very much clearly mentioned, that if he has an offer, then there is another CEO is trained into his place and comes into that part of position.